One thing I would never understand is why do people keep believing this liar? He literally have been lying like his whole life or something, because everything I've ever heard out of his mouth has been a lie. But I'm going to watch this video, okay? It is Donald Trump's acceptance speech for nominee at the RNC. And basically, they're going to check the facts. So let's see what's going on here. Is you ready? I'm ready.
Remarkably long acceptance speech, Shake, and a remarkably dishonest acceptance speech. I counted at least 22 false claims from Donald Trump on first listen. Let's start with one of the wildest claims he made. Listen to what he said about the state of the world when he was president.
The world was at peace. Our opponents inherited a world at peace and turned it into a planet of war. We're in a planet of war. The whole world was at peace.
I can't take him serious.
The world is blowing up around us.
This is false. Trump did not achieve world peace when he was president, certainly wasn't at peace when he left office. There were active wars or armed conflicts in dozens of nations in 2020, a 51 by one research institution's count, and then 51 again in 2021. Trump handed President Biden ongoing civil wars in Yemen and Syria, of course, an unresolved Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Israeli-Iranian conflict, the war in Ethiopia. I could go on for a while, but I don't have time because there were so many other false claims. So let's adjust some of those, not even all of them. He repeated his usual lie about Democrats having cheated in the 2020 election. It's nonsense. He said crime is going up. The opposite is true. It's gone sharply down in 2023 and early 2024. Is now lower than it was under Trump in 2020. He said we have the worst inflation we've ever had. Again, not even close. It is 3% right now. The U.S. record is 23.7%. He said there was no inflation under him. It was low, of course, but not non-existent. It was 8% total for his presidency, 1.4% year over year in the month he left office. He said the price of groceries is up 57% under Biden. It's actually 21%. He said Democrats are proposing to quadruple people's taxes. That is imaginary. He said his tax cut was the largest in American history, not even close again. He said the Biden administration does nothing to stop migrants. Well, the administration tried to get Congress to pass a bill to tighten the border, and after Trump himself helped to kill that bill, Biden took executive action to tighten the border. Trump said he stopped human trafficking. Again, not true. He said China stopped buying oil from Iran under him. Also did not happen. He said foreign governments are deliberately sending criminals and mental health patients.
Look at his face. Look at his face. The other guy that's not talking. Bro. He like, well, damn, are you going to ever stop talking? And that's how I'm looking to him like, damn, this is hella long. Like, it's like one long run on ass sentence. Like, what did he not lie about? Let's go with that list, okay? Because that'll be shorter. Let's do that one. It won't take as long. Damn. Damn.
Patients to the U.S. as migrants. His own campaign has been unable to provide proof for that. I certainly haven't found any myself. He said we defeated ISIS, 100% of ISIS, in a couple of months.
Look
in
at
fact,
his
the ISIS
face.
caliphate was declared fully liberated more than 2 years into his presidency. And there were other exaggerations about trade with China, about North Korean missile launches, about gas prices, about IRS agents. So it just went on and on and on in terms of falsehood, just like the speech went on and on and on itself.
Bruh. I don't even know what to say because it's like, well, damn. Okay. There's your Republican candidate, okay? Speaking at the RNC. And I really don't like calling him a Republican because he's really not a Republican, okay? Like, that man is a cult leader, okay? And he's a MAGA, is what the fuck he is, okay? So, at the end of the day, if you have read Project 2025, get out there and read that because that's important. I'm not a big political person, but for my children's future and my children's children's future, and you know, on and on and on, generations to come, I care about what's going to happen here, okay? And a lot of people are not aware of what Project 2025 is. Even some people in my personal life that I know, once I mention it, they don't even know what it is. It's something to look into, okay? Because it is the complete layout of what Trump plans to do once he's in office. He keeps on saying that that's not his plan. It's just some other people's plan that are the people that work under him. or work for him or whatever the fuck they do. It's their plan for him.
For Trump's other claim that he doesn't know anything about the project, let's just deconstruct that sentence on its surface. Quote, I know nothing about Project 2025. But then he goes on to say he disagrees with some of the things that they're saying. He knows nothing about it, but disagrees with it. First, the Heritage says the foundation briefed all of the Republican candidates on the project, including Trump himself. In fact, the Heritage president reportedly installed Trump's advisors on purpose, knowing that Trump prioritizes personal loyalty over policy. And when Trump says that some of the ideas are ridiculous and abysmal, much of the project lines up completely with Trump's own promises. Now, this is hardly an exhaustive list, but they include killing the Department of Education, crushing the independence of the FBI and the DOJ, the mass firings of civil servants, and mass deportations. And so while Trump may not be the architect of this blueprint, his loyalists are their developers. He is certainly the mogul. And remember, he always notes that he only hires the best people.
Project 2025? Never heard of it. I mean, sure, there were 30 former Trump administration and campaign officials involved in the project, including Stephen Miller, Peter Navarro, Ben Carson, and those literally touted to be Trump's chief of staff if given another pop at fascism. But still,
Donald Trump's age-old or hardly knew him defense. When things get icky, sticky, Trump's suddenly a stranger to whoever it is. He's barely met the person. He doesn't know anything about them. Never heard of them. That same defense popped up again over the weekend. This time it wasn't a person who'd once worked for him, but to an entire radical agenda laid out by Trump's closest allies, which includes eliminating the Department of Education, criminalizing abortion medicine, and installing an army of loyalists to replace those serving in federal agencies.
for most of us paying attention, Trump claiming he's never heard of Project 2025 is as believable as Trump claiming he wasn't besties with Epstein.
The conservative in charge of Project 2025 calls their efforts to start a bloodless revolution. The project, of course, is the wish list of actions to fundamentally change the American government, society, and life. The vessel, though, that they plan to use to accomplish it is Donald Trump, who now says that he knows nothing about this project, nor does he have any idea who's behind it. Well, that's BS, no matter which way you shovel it. And here is the evidence.
First, by showing footage of Trump in 2022 praising the Heritage Foundation, the group that created the extreme blueprint for a potential second Trump administration, calling it a legendary institution.
The group behind this project is the Heritage Foundation. It is a group that Trump is not only familiar with, but relies on them for policy advice and guidance. Just ask him.
For nearly 50 years, this legendary institution, which is what it is, has been at the forefront of the conservative movement, helping lead the fight to defend our cherished American history, culture, and traditions. Our country is going to hell. It's a critical job of institutions such as Heritage is to lay the groundwork, and Heritage does such an incredible job at that. Encourage new thinking, embrace new directions, and keep Heritage at the vanguard of the conservative movement. I think tremendous things are going to be coming out of Heritage. Each of you here tonight, I ask you to think big, dream bigger, aim higher, get ready to work. I know how wealthy the people in this room are, so start shelling out to Heritage.
Now, the thing is 980 some pages. Okay, so did he read it? I doubt that. The man has not even read the Constitution. He said it's too hard. Everything's foreign for him. So we know he doesn't like to read, which is probably why he wants to take the Department of Education away from everybody else, because he wants everybody to be as dumb as him. And the dumber the nation is, the easier it is to control everybody.
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
So we're not going to let that happen, right? He literally wants to take away our basic human rights, like the right to your own body, to make choices for your own self, if you want to have a baby or not. And for the Department of Education, that's going to wipe out Head Start for preschoolers. You know, like, I don't have any preschoolers, but I know there's people that have preschoolers, bro. And that's important because my children were in preschool, and that was so helpful. They were directly in Head Start, actually. And Head Start was so helpful for me. Also, with the Department of Education, it's also free lunches that will be taken off. Like pretty much anything that is related to public schools. Not everybody is wealthy enough to put their children in private schools. So I feel like this needs to get out there. It needs to be pushed. The message needs to be pushed because, yeah, I wonder why the lost people of the MAGA cult are following this man. I really, really do, but I know why they do. But it's like, I didn't know so many people were lost on the planet. Like it's a mass amount of people. Okay. And the only reason why the rich people are following him is because they don't want to pay taxes on the money they make. Duh. So why the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Like, how does that work? In Trump's world, it works, right? They plan on making the U.S. a Christian national country.
We're going to talk about Ziklag, which is a national Christian movement political action committee masquerading as a tax-free charity in order to try to get out the vote and try to swing the election in order to have dominion, Christianity have dominion over all spheres of U.S. life. This is their action plan as reported by ProPublica. Ziklag, which is basically founded by 40 of the wealthiest Christian donors in America, including the family that owns Hobby Lobby, the Greens, the family that owns Uline or had owned Uline Packaging, the Uline family, the family that owns Jockey Underwear. All of those families have gotten together along with others, net worth into the billions of dollars, and set up this entity called Ziklag, also known as USA Transform. Why is it called Ziklag? Because Ziklag in the Bible is the place where David and his soldiers sought shelter while they were having their fight with King Saul. So they think that's what they're doing. They're trying to fight for the soul of America. In fact, this organization and all those that believe in Christian fundamentalism and the Christian national movement want to take over what they refer to as the 7 mountains in American society. And they want to have dominion over all 7 mountains. The mountains are arts and media, business, church, education, family, government, science, and technology. Those are the 7 mountains. And they will not rest until they get a candidate like Trump in order to get elected to give them whatever they want as part of their agenda. That is the Christian nationalist movement writ large through Ziklag. Let's double whatever the margin was that we need to turn this election in our favor and give it to Trump. Why? Because Trump is basically, in their minds, promised them dominion over the 7 mountains, including education. God help us. No pun intended. Over technology, over government. They don't want a separation between church and state. They pull out of old texts of the Supreme Court rulings from the past that we're a Christian nation, and they want to restore that. Their goal is to restore, to win the spiritual battle, and to restore biblical structure. Listen to these words: biblical structure to the United States, and to inject into U.S. culture Christ. That is their tenets.
So if you don't worship Christianity, then you'll probably get in trouble for that shit. Like, okay. Like, it's so much in that Project 2025 that people should really check it out and be aware right now, because everybody's treating this as it's a normal election that just, it's just Trump against Biden, or it's just, and it's not. Okay. It's way more than that this time. Okay. It is not Trump against Biden. It's not the Democrats against the Republicans. It is the Democrats and the Republicans against Trump and the MAGA cult. So we are here to protect our country. We're going to take him down. That's what they said. They're going to stop him. That was the exact words of this other video I watched of one of the governors that is a possible candidate for Kamala Harris's VP. He said she is equipped to stop Trump. I put special emphasis on that because it's not beat Trump. Okay. That's not the language used. The language used was stop Trump. I think that sounds a little bit more severe. Okay. We're not just in any normal election here. We are in a competition to save our country for our children and so many more after that. Because there's a reason why Trump is always talking about Putin as if he praises him, or the president of China as if he praises him, or is it North Korea? I can't remember. One of them or both of them. Shit, I don't know. But those are dictators, okay? They're dictators. And when Trump talks about them as if he praises them, what he praises about them is how they run their country with an iron fist. So let's keep that in mind. On top of the fact that he's a compulsive ass liar, narcissistic as fuck. Narcissists exist, okay? A straight up okay? I don't want to say it how it's supposed to be said, because I don't know if it's going to get flagged, and I really need this video to get out there because it's important. But yes, he sleeps with young girls, or he has slept with young girls. He has a record of it, so it doesn't even matter. Okay. He has sexual assaulted women. Okay. He openly talks about that. So that's no surprise. So I don't know why everybody's so Trump, as if they're fucking brainwashed or something. You don't see this man as a lunatic. You don't see that? Let's take the rose-colored glasses off, people. Open our eyes here. If you care about your children, especially if you have daughters or a daughter, how can you even look at your daughter and smile and say that you love your daughter and you support a man like that? His wife doesn't even want to be around him. We saw her one time during this whole campaign, and it was on the last day of the RNC. She's made one appearance because she doesn't want to be seen with that man. His own wife does not want to be seen with that man. What does that tell you guys? Not to mention, he just chose JD Vance as his VP. And I didn't even know who that was at first. So I started doing some digging on him, right?
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans? The media calls us racist for wanting to build Trump's wall. They censor us, but it doesn't change the truth. Joe Biden's open border is killing Ohioans, with more illegal drugs and more Democrat voters pouring into this country.
You know what I haven't done? I didn't start a fake nonprofit pretending like I was going to help people with addiction like JD Vance did. Literally started a nonprofit and didn't spend one nickel on anybody. In fact, he brought in somebody from Purdue Pharma to be the spokesperson for the nonprofit. The same drug company, Big Pharma, the big drug company that had all the pill mills going, got everybody addicted. 1 million people died, JD. 1 million people died. And you started a nonprofit to try to take advantage of people in Ohio. And you know what? All you did with it was launch your political career.
This man is worse than Trump, really, if you really want to be honest, because it's the motives behind everything, right? And Trump's motives is just power. Like, he's power hungry. He just wants power. He even said himself, he hates when people laugh at him. I was watching an old documentary of his wife that passed away, his first wife, and she was saying, Trump does not like to lose. However, she said that. I don't know if I could find it. I'll put it in here.
He took the divorce as a business deal, and he cannot lose. He has to win.
But that's exactly what she was basically saying. And you can see he's a sore loser, bro. He was making claims that the 2020 election was rigged, or there was falsified votes, or whatever the fuck. Like, you're a sore loser, bro. You don't like to lose. That storm that he had go to the Capitol with all them fucking people, he did that because he didn't like the results. This dude is nuts. And then want to blame everybody for the people that died there and the people that got hurt. Like, this was your fault. I can see if you want to say the election is rigged. Yeah, sure. But when the shit goes to court, from what I heard, 64 different courts or court appointed judges or whatever the fuck it was. Too many motherfucking court motherfuckers is what it was. Threw the shit out because it wasn't rigged. Okay. The man just wants to be like, it was rigged. It wasn't rigged. You're a sore loser is what it is. So let's call it like it is. Okay. So Joe Biden announced that he's dropping out of the race and he endorses Kamala Harris as the nominee. So I guess she's not yet our nominee or whoever nominee, because I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm me. Okay. Like I said, I can see the arguments on both sides. I see parts that I agree with on both sides. I see parts that I disagree with on both sides. So I don't pick a side, but it's not about sides this time is what we need to realize here. I just really hope they don't have something else in mind if this doesn't go the way they want, because they were making comments. I didn't know if I wanted to even say all this, but they were making comments like little, you know how people be snitching on themselves just a little bit, like that's what they were doing. Like, I don't know if anybody knows, I forgot who it was, but it was somebody on their side. They were giving a speech and they're like, we're going to take our country back. And I'm just like paraphrasing because I don't know word for word, but he was like, we're going to take our country back and it's going to be bloodless or something like that if the left let us or doesn't let us. I don't know. But basically what he was saying was, if they just sit down and nobody put up a fight and just let us win, nobody's going to get hurt.
In spite of all this nonsense from the left, we are going to win. We're in the process of taking this country back. We are going to prevail. The left has taken over our institutions. And so I come full circle in this response and just want to encourage you with some substance that we are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
That's creepy. Also, China and Russia, like, what the fuck are they planning? Like, and you know, them are Trump's friends. Okay. He goes and visit them, hang out with them, all that stuff. Like, them is his friends. I'm just keeping America in prayers. Okay. Because this is a tough time. And anybody that's sitting back like, oh, it's just an election. Nobody cares. It's just a regular election. Like, no, it's not. Okay. It's not. And wake up, because it's not good to be asleep your whole life, for real. Open your eyes and pay attention to what's happening. And I know some people don't like to look at the news and all that stuff because it does bring you down with all the things going on in the world. But honestly, this is important because this is our country at stake here. Okay. It's going to get into the wrong hands. Seriously. On top of that, I got one more thing to add. If Trump was convicted of 34 felonies, how is he still able to run for president? Ain't it hard to get a job at McDonald's if you got a felony? One, they need to look at them laws, because that's deep. I never even thought about that, but damn. At least you still got a shot at president, right? Anywho, y'all stay strong, okay? We have to keep our country out of this man's hands. For real. Because once he gets absolute power over everything, and change our whole system over to dictatorship, because that's what he wants He said he was going to be a dictator on day one. Stop ignoring what is being said right to your faces. And they said that if our government system or, it was to get switched over to dictatorship from the way it is now, they don't know if we'll be able to bring it back. So if he wins, I'm going to be moving out of the US. Yep, I'm out of here. I will make sure I get me and my children the fuck up out of this country if he wins, because I'm not in that cult and I don't see things the way they see things. And I don't know how to pretend either. That's hard. So everybody stay prayed up. Let's help keep our country. Okay. Remember that Democrats and the real Republicans, not MAGA, the real Republicans need to spend this time coming together and making a decision on what is best for everybody in our country and the future generations, because it's serious. And when I talk about stuff like this, that's how you know it's serious, because I don't talk about stuff like this. I just hope everybody open their eyes before it's too late, but I have faith in my people, trying to anyway. Give me some hope, guys. Love you guys.